In all my discussions with the psychedelic entities, there are occasional odd subjects that seem to be unrelated to spiritual development, but when explained, they turn out to be important elements of human life that everyone wants to talk about. Pornography is one of them. So that I don't get into trouble with social media and their flawed censorship algorithms, I'll be using the word video, and I hope you will know what I'm talking about. If content like this helps you, and I know it does, sponsor 434 by joining Patreon or Subscribestar, or by donating through PayPal, CashApp, bank transfer, or Bitcoin. It is quick and easy, and if you never tried it, do it now. Thank you for your help. If you want to talk to me, use the consultation and support service. All links in the video description. When I was born at the beginning of the 80s, porn was around, but it wasn't a big thing. It was in its infancy. In fact, in the country I grew up in, videos like that were impossible to get by and practically non-existent. I remember my parents visiting friends for adult movie nights with VHS screenings of some bootlegged flick. Imagine doing that today. I learned what erotic material looks like when I was around 7 or 8, and I found in my dad's man cave a hidden stash of hardcore slides and magazines. I had no idea what I was looking at, but I remember I was immediately hooked, and it wasn't even a sexual sensation. It was more of a mix of fascination, excitement, and the thrill of discovering something new and forbidden. The emotional imprint of that experience is still with me to this day, and I think it might have positively affected the rest of my sexual life. It's difficult to tell, but that's how I learned what sex really was, and I had no idea that we can do this with our human bodies. To say I was amazed is an understatement. My dad's room became an instant hit in my neighborhood with all my friends, both boys and girls, regularly coming to look at it, and we even created code words for this activity so that our parents wouldn't know what we're doing. As my physical development progressed and my puberty hit, this material became the foundation of most of my erotic fantasies, and like every boy at that age, eventually I started using people from my environment to direct my own imaginary X-rated movies. Eventually we realized that everyone had a dad who had a secret stash of this type of stuff, and I remember skipping class in elementary school so that all my classmates could get together in one of our houses to watch it on VHS, and it was the whole class, again, both boys and girls, everyone equally thrilled to watch other people have naked fun. And then at the end of the 90s, two very important things happened. The internet emerged, and I started having my first real sexual interaction with girls. A whole new world of erotic stimulation opened up to me. The internet happened earlier than my first sexual experiences, so it had impact on my sexuality before I was able to understand how all of this works. Sex images were almost immediately the first thing that people were sharing online, and because the internet was not corporately manicured, curated, and regulated as it is today, everyone had unrestricted access to everything. It was Wild West of erotica. I was fascinated with all the combinations of human sexuality, and I couldn't believe how many variations of physical love were possible. As download speeds went up, people started sharing first sex videos. An average 5-minute clip would take a few hours to download, but adult online content was officially a thing. I remember spending countless nights downloading short clips and learning about all types of human sexuality available now with a click of a button, downloaded from all over the world. Like for everybody else, for some time, it was my favorite thing to do online, and I would go through exactly the same emotions as I did when I was 7 after finding my dad's stash. As I started my own sex life, I lost interest in these videos for years. I was lucky because I would end up in relationships where I could have sex much better than what I saw in these pictures and videos. For the longest time, I believed that porn is a reflection of male fantasies, but it was a huge surprise to me that most of what you'll find in erotic material is actually a representation of deep sexual fantasies both for men and women they are willing to engage in with partners they trust. It was also surprising to me that women I was with were actually as interested in watching porn as other men, and some of them watched it more frequently than me, even during sex. After having a break from these videos for almost 15 years, recently out of curiosity, I started watching it again just to see how it has changed in the last decade and a half, and I was really shocked how it turned into a giant industry and that it is no longer a random bunch of blurry, digitized VHS tapes from the 70s. The quality and variety of videos is absolutely staggering today. After all, 30% of online traffic is sex movies now. 1 in 4 searches is related to it, and people watch these videos more than Netflix and even all professional sports combined. 1/3 of those who watch it are women now. There is also a new problem, as it turns out. People are no longer addicted to cigarettes or alcohol. Skin flick addiction is on the map now too, and judging by the number of comments and messages I get from you, it seems like a very serious problem. Luckily, I don't have this issue, as I enjoy the products of my imagination more than anything I see on a screen, and I think it might be due to stimulating my imagination at a very early age. When I take mushrooms, there is this moment when I'm already affected physically and somewhat mentally, but my mind is still waiting to be fully affected by psilocybin, and it leaves me usually with about half an hour of immobility when I can't do anything but wait for the contact to start. In that time, I'll usually watch something online, and occasionally it will be erotic videos. I quickly learned not to do this because magic mushrooms boost your nonsense filter, and everything fake or theatrical you watch is exposed to you for what it really is. And because I do it right before my trip, machine elves often will start a conversation with me about it. This way I received some messages and explanations about the nature of these adult videos. They said, an erotic website is a place where people are looking for a connection, without even knowing this. They showed me that even though we think we're after a purely physical sensation, it is actually a result of a disruption of the sensitive sphere caused by unfulfilled emotional needs. They said, with these videos, the great thing is that even if you don't experience beautiful sex like that, you'll still get to experience it by observing somebody else. You're actually looking for the beauty of human connection in it, the yin and yang, the physical that we all came here for. That's what it really is. It's you looking for a connection, the same as dating websites. You still get to witness it, and you still get to enjoy it, and if you do it with psychedelics, then you might actually get the energy and understand more than you see. I was surprised to learn that according to machine elves, watching videos like that is a good thing when they told me, you came to this existence to experience sexuality. Your existence here is one sexual experience. The essence of your existence is sexual love, experiencing love expressed by two humans. Even watching these videos is a sexual experience too. It doesn't have to be yours. It can be somebody else's, but you experiencing sexuality is why you're here. If you ever have a chance to watch these videos on psychedelics, you might experience what I did, connecting with the emotional expression of two people having sex on the screen. It is a really strange sensation, as you will feel what they felt, but it won't be physical. It will be a metaphysical experience. It is like taking part in emotionally enhanced virtual reality projection. And they also told me, the videos you watch should be used as an example of what human sex should look like, making somebody feel good mentally. Physical aspect of sex is about completing the mental connection. That's what good sex is about. Yin and yang, mental intercourse. That's what real human connection looks like. These movies are not bad as long as it allows you to observe the exchange of love between two people. So if psychedelic outer dimensional entities do not have a problem with naughty movies, why do you hear all the time that it is bad for you? There are a few reasons you could take into consideration. You need to ask yourself, why are these videos legal and widely available? How is it possible that governments restrict everything else in the name of protecting children, yet this one thing is untouchable? Is it possible that you're a clueless victim of a sexuality control and mind distortion program? It might be designed to lower your productivity, as an average addict spends on it 2 hours a day. Whether addicted or not, it is a huge waste of time, and you realize this once you're finished. You know it creates an altered state of mind in which you feel it is a real need. These videos make you feel satisfied, and they stop you from gaining skills to actually find someone to have real-life sex and enjoying real connection. It is a substitute for real sex and real love. Also, these videos are really weird today. It evolved a lot from my early days of innocent intercourse filming. Yes, you're mostly watching actors, but this is not what humans behave like engaging in sex, especially if you watch American or Japanese productions. If you don't have much sexual experience, it can create the wrong image of sex for you. Unless you're watching real amateur videos, it is creating an unrealistic image of human body. Actors are selected based on their attractiveness, body symmetry, and size of the desired body parts. They get surgeries, makeup, special studio lights, and post-production editing. Real-life humans are much more normal looking. Also, if you're watching paid material, it's a waste of money. Spend your cash on those who create lasting impression on you and your psyche, not just material for temporary physical gratification. If you need to spend money on something that stimulates you rather than distracts you, support real creators. The truth is that watching these videos is not really that much different than reading magazines like we used to back in the 70s and 80s. The consensus is that porn is good. 60% of people in general say it improves their lives. It is one of the best forms of free entertainment available to everyone. It makes you feel good, and it is a highly effective stress reliever. Effectively, it raises your vibrational frequency. For those who are still waiting for their first sexual experience, it gives them something to look forward to. My sexual experiences were enhanced by me thinking, I am doing it, and oh, she does things I've watched for so long and it is so much better than what I saw. It is a great build-up to the real thing. Once you start having sex, these videos help with experimentation and it becomes an endless source of ideas for you and your partner. In fact, watching a lot of it lets you define your ideal sexual partner you should look for. It also helps you define your own sexuality. It empowers you. It makes you a more experienced lover. It also allows you to be more confident about your sexual preferences. It increases your sex drive, and if you get stuck in a bad sexual relationship, it can save you from the misery of having a boring sex life. Contrary to what the mainstream media says, online content like that empowers women. It allowed me to create image of women as people who can offer an enormous amount of pleasure to a man, and these videos effectively made me respect and appreciate women more. Also, according to statistics, sexual abuse toward women went down by half since these videos became freely and widely available. The bottom line is that pornography is not really a big deal and it's the safest addiction possible. There's a really good movie about it from 2013 called Don John. Watch it if you want to learn more about this issue. Remember that it is supposed to be a momentary entertainment, not a development-stifling addiction. Don't let your only form of intercourse be digital. You deserve more than this. You deserve a deep, meaningful connection with a like-minded partner. Use it as foreplay, as instructional videos, or as occasional entertainment. It is really not more than that, and it definitely is not powerful enough to dominate your life. Let it be a test of your strength and your self-control. And if you watch a lot of it and you can't stop, it should be an indicator as to what is really missing from your life and what it is that you need to concentrate on. Experiencing fulfilling and satisfying sex is not only your human privilege, but also one of the main goals of this existence. Love 434. If you found all of this information useful, finance 434 through methods listed on the screen. Thank you for your help. If you want to discuss this subject with me or if you need help or support, get in touch. Links in the video description. Subscribe, like, and share this video. Visit the websites of the artist and the musician I featured in this video. Leave your email address at news.b434.com. Remember about b434.com and join 434 social media on YouTube, Facebook, BitChute, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, and VK. Talk to each other on Telegram, Reddit, and Discord. All links below.